Hi friends, I am Drishya, working as an assistant professor in SNS College of Engineering. So we are discussing about Indian Constitution, the first year, first semester subject. So today is the fifth topics, Directive Principle of State Policy. Last class we will discussed about last lecture we discussed in the fundamental rights. So the next topic is Directive Principle of State Policy. Directive principles of state policy aims to create social and economic conditions under which citizens can live a good standard of life. So there are some of the principles for Indian citizens make their life good standard. Directive principle of state policy is the ideology of the Irish Constitution. The concept of directive principle of state policy, or short form as DPSP, is borrowed from Article 45 of the Irish Constitution. The directive principle of state policy is the feature as adopted from Irish Constitution. It is included in Article 45. In Part 4 of the Indian Constitution, Article number 36 to 51, the directive principles are mentioned. In our Indian Constitution, the Article 36 to 51 is mentioned about the directive principle. In Irish Constitution, Article 45 was directive principle. Article 37 of the Indian Constitution deals with the application of directive principle. What is the directive principle of state policy? We will discuss what is DPSP. The Indian Constitution imposes certain directive principles of state policy, is fundamental in the governance of the country, and the duty of the state is to apply this principle in making laws. It means that the state will strive to promote the well-being by protecting it effectively. The state must direct its policies in such a manner that protect the right of all men and women to the means of support, equal pay scale, equal opportunity within limits of its economic capacity and development. The state must also aspire to secure to its workers human resources, standard of life, and the management of workers. So there are three classification of our DPSP. First one is principle of social and economic justice, then principle of social security provisions, principle of community welfare provision. So we will discussing this. First one is principle of social and economic justice. The principle which makes sure that the state must strive to minimize inequalities in income and status, facilities and opportunities. Article 38 and 39 come under this classification. Article 38 about securing a social order of the promotion of the welfare of the people, whereas the 39 about every citizen has the right to adequate means of livelihood. Control of material resources of community and ownership must be originated in common good nature. Operation of the economic system does not result in a concentration of wealth and means of production to the common department. This is the first classification, principle of social and economic justice. The next one is principle of social security provisions. So the following directive principle come under this category. So there are some articles: equal justice and free legal aid, that is included in Article 39A, inserted by 42nd Constitution Amendment Act. We are already discussed about 42nd Amendment in last lecture. The state should give the right to education, employment, that is in Article 41. In Article 42, just and human condition of work and maternity relief, that is Article 2, 42, then provides living wage remuneration and other economical facilities for workers, that is in Article 43. Participation of workers the management in the management of industries, that is article 43A. Promotion of cooperative societies, article 43B, inserted by 97th constitution amendment 2011. So this is the second classification principle of social security. It is there is include right to education, remuneration, economical facilities, then living wages, then every just and human conditions, work, maternity relief, etc. That is the social security provisions. Then provision for early childhood are and education to children below the age of 6 years, that is article 45, also included in social security classification. Promotion of education and economic interest of scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, and other weaker sections, that is in article 46. Then article 47 is duty raises the level of nutrition and the standard of living and improves public health.